Imagine a world where scarcity is no longer a tool of control, where the power to produce and sustain human life is no longer hidden behind ownership or bureaucracy. Today, whether you identify as an anarchist, capitalist, socialist, or just someone who believes in human dignity, you share a frustration. That frustration is rooted in the reality that both capitalism and socialism, in practice, have failed to uplift the people they claim to serve. Capitalism promises freedom through markets, yet the reality is inequality, exploitation, and the constant manipulation of scarcity. Socialism promises equality through state control, yet it too centralizes power, often replacing private greed with bureaucratic inefficiency. But there is a different approach, rooted not in ideology, but in science, system science to be exact. This approach asks a simple question: how do we optimize production, distribution, and human well-being in a world of abundance? That is the promise of a resource-based economy.
Weaknesses of command and market economies. Let's examine why both command economies and market economies fail to deliver. Market economies, the backbone of capitalism, are designed around private profit and competition. While markets can spur innovation, they are inherently unstable. Prices are manipulated, speculation runs rampant, and inequality becomes structural. Wealth concentrates in the hands of a few, while most of society works to maintain systems they never control. Scarcity is artificial, often engineered to preserve profit margins. Command economies, the foundation of state-driven socialism, attempt the opposite. Central planning. Here, bureaucrats and government agencies dictate what is produced, when, and for whom. While well-intentioned, command economies often collapse under their own rigidity. They stifle innovation, punish local decision-making, and fail to respond efficiently to changing human needs or environmental constraints. In short, both systems, though framed as opposites, share the same critical flaw. Power over production is concentrated, not distributed. One favors capital, the other favors the state. In both cases, workers have little real influence over the resources they produce, and society suffers as a result. The triumphancy of the cybernetic economy. Now, before we get into what the cybernetic economy is, let's define the word cybernetics. The science of communications and automatic control systems in both machines and living things. The cybernetic economy, another name for the resource-based economy, changes everything. Cybernetic systems are built to optimize flows of resources, energy, and labor in real time, using artificial intelligence, advanced analytics, and automation. These systems dynamically allocate resources where they are needed most. Unlike markets, they do not rely on artificial scarcity or speculation. Unlike command economies, they do not rely on rigid bureaucracy. Instead, decisions are based on actual availability, need, and sustainability, empowering those who work, create, and innovate. Imagine factories, farms, and energy grids coordinated like an intelligent organism. Surplus production isn't hoarded for profit or political leverage. It is redistributed according to need and environmental priorities. Waste is minimized, efficiency is maximized, and human creativity becomes the primary driver of progress. The cybernetic economy is not theoretical. It is the practical application of system science to human society. It unites the strength of planning and market responsiveness while eliminating their weaknesses. It is a system where production power truly belongs to the people who create it, not to capital or the state. production power belongs to workers. The core principle of a resource-based economy is simple. The productive power of society belongs to those who create it, not to the state, not to private owners, to the workers, engineers, scientists, farmers, and creators. Imagine a factory run by algorithms that calculate exactly how much energy, material, and labor is required to produce what people actually need. The workers decide priorities, design the workflow, and collaborate in real time across regions. Surplus production isn't hoarded for profit, it's redirected where it can improve lives, reduce scarcity, and prevent waste. Automation, AI, and advanced logistics make this not just possible, but inevitable. When the system replaces scarcity with abundance, human ingenuity becomes our greatest resource. Freed from profit and bureaucracy, society can focus on creativity, sustainability, and the pursuit of knowledge. Traditional socialist systems often rely on rigid rationing. The state dictates who gets what, when, and how much, leaving little room for personal choice or innovation. Meanwhile, capitalist economies extract wealth from the many to enrich the few, turning labor and natural resources into private profit rather than communal benefit. A resource-based economy sidesteps both extremes. It eliminates arbitrary rationing and cuts out exploitative extraction, ensuring that goods, energy, and knowledge flow directly to those who need them and to projects that enhance collective well-being. Scarcity is no longer a tool of control, abundance becomes the organizing principle, and human potential is liberated rather than commodified.
A resource-based economy is not a utopia. It's a science-driven blueprint for human survival and flourishing. It takes the best of what capitalism and socialism tried to promise, removes their destructive tendencies, and empowers the people who make the world run. It is a system that honors human labor, protects the planet, and unleashes the full potential of technology. It is not owned by any individual, corporation, or state. It belongs to all of us. The question, then, is simple. Do you want to remain trapped in systems that exploit, centralize, and mismanage? Or do you want to embrace a future where abundance, empowerment, and human dignity are no longer ideals, but reality?